Hey all, and welcome back to Recruitable University. My name is Ahmed, and welcome to Module 1 on the Recruitment Program. So on Module 1, we'll be going through Recruitment Foundation, how to successfully start your own recruitment agency. So we'll be going through from A to Z on how to start your own business. So Module 1 will consist of the following lessons. What is a recruitment agency? Is recruitment a saturated market? What tools do I need to get started, and how much do I need to start a recruitment agency? What are the benefits of using a recruitment agency for clients? So first and foremost, what is a recruitment agency? Well, we'll be going through what a recruitment agency is. We'll be talking about whether a recruitment agency is a market that is saturated and there are too many people doing it and you won't be making anything, or is it the right time to jump on board and to also earn a slice of the pie? What tools do I need to get started? How much do you need to start a recruitment agency? Do you need to borrow money? Do you need to save money in order to start a recruitment agency? Or is it something that is fairly straightforward that you can do, which has a low startup cost? We'll be going through the benefits of using recruitment agencies, why are clients using recruitment agencies, and why is this industry an industry that has been around for so long and that will continue to be around for so long. So let's go straight into it. What is a recruitment agency? As a recruitment agent, or a recruitment agency, you literally, we are the middlemen, or you're the middleman between the client and the candidate. So you are the bridge that connects A and B. So what you are effectively is you are providing a service to your clients who are short on staff and who are looking for employers. So your employees. So you are looking, clients who are looking for staff will contact you and say, I am short for staff. Can you find me? Can you deliver? And you are also there to service the candidates who are looking for a new position, that whether they're looking for a salaried position, whether they are looking for a contracting position, whether they're looking for short-term or long-term. We'll be going through all the different types of contracts and placement over the next coming modules. But what you need to understand is what a recruitment agency is, which is the middleman between the client and the candidate. So the client will reach out to you whenever they need staff. You are providing a service, and the candidates will reach out to you whenever they need work, and you are providing a service. And how does a recruitment agency make money? Basically, as a service provider, whenever you find your client a candidate, there are a couple of options available, which we will go through, which is you've got whether a permanent placement, which is you'll charge them a finder's fee for finding a candidate, or whether it's a contracting, so you'll be charging them on an hourly rate. For example, if they say to you, can you find me a doctor to work for us for the next 2 weeks, you can charge them either an hourly rate, say, or a day rate, saying it's going to cost you £1,000 per day to have this doctor, and then agreeing with your doctor that you're going to pay them £700 per day, where you are lucratively earning £300 per day for making that placement. This is just an example, but these are realistic figures of something that you can earn whilst you are in the recruitment agency industry. So let's get going. What is a recruitment agency? We said you are the middleman between the client and the candidate. Also, why are clients reaching out to recruitment agency? Because you've got access to work that may not be available in the market. Sometimes client will reach out to recruitment agencies as the first point of contact. Reason being, it saves them time. It's cost effective using a recruitment agency. You can imagine big organizations such as Amazon, NHS, Royal Mail, who have hundreds and some in the thousands of staff. For them to recruit and find staff internally, it proves to be difficult and challenging. So that's why you find a lot of organizations who are they are not just desperate, but they are short on staff. They've been advertising for God knows how long. Some actually companies, when I speak to them, they say we've had vacancies out for the past 6 months to a year, and there is just nobody available. And they reach out to recruitment agencies who they know they have access to candidates. They have access to a huge database of candidates who can provide them with the cover that they require. Likewise, candidates reach out to recruitment agencies because they've got work that they may not find themselves. A IT contractor, as soon as he finishes a contract, he will just reach out to an agency to say, I'm coming up to an end of my contract. Can you secure me a position in the next few weeks or months? Because securing a position yourself as a contractor, for example, is not the easy of things. You've got to call around, different companies find out, are they looking, are they short staffed? Would they need an extra pair of hands? But what a recruitment agency does is they've got the database, they've got access to those clients, they've got access to those candidates. So no wonder why they are the first point of contact for clients whenever they are short on staff. And they are also the first point of contact for candidates when they are looking for work. So recruitment agencies have access to work that may not be available right away in the market. And they've also got access to candidates who may not be available on the market right away. Recruitment agency also manage all the recruitment needs for the clients. So this is one of the reasons that recruitment agencies are very, very popular, and they are the go-to for many, many clients. For example, when a client is short-staffed, whether that is a school is looking for a supply teacher. They only need the teacher for 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, whilst their current salaried teacher is off on sick leave, let's say. So for them to recruit someone such short notice can be pretty much impossible, and if not very, very difficult. So they'll reach out to a recruitment agency, just say, hey, my teacher just called in sick today. Can you find me someone? What the agency will do, they will take care of all the recruitment needs of the client. So they will do the compliance. They will check that the person that they are going to send to the school has all the right documents in place. They've got the DBS checks. They've got all the safeguardings. So they've got all the compliance and all the nitty-gritty admin compliance stuff all sorted, rather than a client finding cover at short notice and then trying to make sure that all the paperwork are in check. A recruitment agency will have the candidates on their database already, along with those documents. So as soon as a client reaches out to them saying, I need cover, and a teacher just called in sick late night on Sunday, and I've got a classroom full of pupils that need a teacher. So a recruitment agency will be able to send a teacher at short notice. Likewise, a hospital who are short-staffed, someone called in sick, a doctor called in sick, a nurse called in sick. So they need staff urgently. They will reach out to recruitment agencies for them to provide them with the quick service and the quick turnaround, providing them with cover and also the right documentation which they need in order to secure those candidates. As a recruitment agency, why are you also the go-to for your candidates? Because you manage literally their schedule. Many candidates just rely on recruitment agencies to find them work, whether they are IT contractors, whether they are doctors, whether they're teachers, whether they are laborers, whether they are architects. Many contractors and many professionals, whether they're healthcare professional and other professional, rely on recruitment agencies to find them work. They rely on them and they literally give them their schedules. There's many times where many of our actually contractors will just send us their schedule for the next 6 weeks or the next couple of months and say, this is what I'm available for. Can you please secure me work? What it does, it just gives them the peace of mind for them not to look around, not to go around in the market, go online, go on different websites, call around. They haven't got the time. So they will just reach out to a recruitment agency and just say, these are the dates that I'm available. Can you find me work? So a recruitment agency is a point of contact, or they're literally a one-stop shop for candidates as they manage their dates, they manage their pay, and what clients traditionally, when you work for an organization or when you are employed, you get paid on a monthly basis. Recruitment agencies, where they are different, is they pay their candidates predominantly on a weekly basis, and some of them even on a daily basis. So this is why many people, many candidates actually prefer to use a recruitment agency, because the flexibility that it comes with, the flexible pay, and also the holidays that are associated with working for a recruitment agency. Another reason people are using recruitment agency is because a recruitment agency offers a tailored service, and in order to gain the trust and the reputation. So what I mean by a tailored service is a recruitment agency will give clients the dedicated consultants to work on their recruitment needs. So when a client calls in and they say, I'm short-staffed, they will have a designated consultant who will say, I will pick up your work. I will make sure I work on these shifts that you need covering. So this gives them the peace of mind. It also it builds the trust, knowing that they've got a dedicated consultant who will be working solely on their requirements. So no wonder why many clients, organizations, big providers are using recruitment agencies, because it's really, really handy, especially at short notice, or when it comes to maternity cover. Then the first thing they look for is a contractor, a recruitment candidate, and a contractor to pick up the agency work. So this is pretty much in a nutshell what a recruitment agency is and why many clients and candidates are using recruitment agency. I hope you enjoyed and you've benefited so far, and I will see you on the next one. Hey guys, and welcome back to Recruitable University. My name is Ahmed, and on today's recruitment program, we are on module number 1. So far, we've covered what a recruitment agency is. Now we're going to go through, is recruitment a saturated market? So if we go into the recruitment market value in the UK alone, it's valued at £41.3 billion. That's £41.3 billion. So you can imagine recruitment is a huge industry in the UK alone. And we look deeper into the recruitment industry in the UK. 33.9, that's 82% of that alone is temp staffing. Temp staffing is when a client needs a short-term cover, whether it's a day, whether it's a week, whether it's 6 months, it can be even as long as a year or two. And they are just looking for a temp staff which is not on their books. So the recruitment agency will be responsible for the payment, generally speaking, for the payment of that temp staff. And that alone consists of 82% of the market value of the recruitment agency. So in the UK alone, £33.9 billion is spent on temp staffing. So if you wanted to get into the temp industry, it's a huge industry, and there is plenty of money to be made. And if we look at the permanent side of things, so permanent staffing, which consists of £7.4 billion, that is a whopping 18%. 18% alone is spent on permanent staffing. And permanent staffing is when a client is looking for a permanent member of staff to join their team, where they are not looking for a contractor or a temp staff to join them for a short-term basis, but they are looking for a longer term, so a permanent position. So 18% alone of the recruitment industry is spent on perm staffing. So you can imagine huge companies, whenever they need permanent staffing, they just reach out to recruitment agencies as they find it easier, and a lot of clients are using recruitment agencies, and a lot of candidates are using recruitment agencies. And as we mentioned previously, most recruitment agencies have a huge database of candidates. They've got a huge database of clients. Therefore, big organizations, they reach out to recruitment agencies in order to find their recruitment needs. And if we look at the market value of the recruitment industry in the USA, you can imagine how huge the USA is when it comes to recruitment. Well, if you ever was looking into getting into recruitment, UK honestly is a huge market, but the US is insane in terms of the market value. £201.7 billion is spent on recruitment agencies. So you can imagine how huge that slice of the cake is. So there is never a time where I would say to you, recruitment is a saturated market. There's too many people doing it. There is a lot of money that can be made in recruitment from recruitment agencies. There are so many clients reaching out to agencies who are unable to deliver. There are hundreds of thousands and thousands, or if not in the millions, of vacancies out there which have not been covered by any agencies. So there's plenty to go around. And I would say, if you are ever looking into a particular country, the UK is a huge market, but the US also is an absolutely fantastic market when it comes to IT, when it comes to cybersecurity, when it comes to pharmaceutical, when it comes to healthcare, and when it comes to general care. There is such a market where it has high value. So it's something to definitely look out for. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it opened your eyes a little bit when it comes to the recruitment industry and how big this market is, and it's most definitely not a saturated market. I will see you on the next one. Hey, and welcome back to Recruitable University. It's Ahmed here, and on today's recruitment program. So what have we covered so far? We've covered what a recruitment agency is. We know a recruitment agency is not a saturated market, and we've gone into the market value of the UK, the US, and these countries, and how much potential there is in recruitment. The next thing that we'll be going through today is what tools do you need? And there's another common question that we get asked all the time is, what tools do I need to get started? How much money do I need to invest? Is it going to take a lot of capital? Do I need to invest in the latest gadgets and the latest computer and softwares and what have you? Or is it something that is straightforward? So let's get into this lesson. What tools do I need to get started? And how much money do I need? First and foremost, before you can start your agency, is you need to pick a name. So before you look at registering your company and buying, the website and investing in all of this, you need to have a name in mind. So how do you pick a name? You need to ask yourself is what you are going to specialize in. Are you going to specialize in healthcare? Are you going to specialize in accountancy? Are you going to specialize in IT? Are you going to specialize in, construction? Or are you going to be an agency that wants to get their hands in all of the pies and do a bit of everything? If you're going to specialize in a certain industry, then you would like, or it would be ideal to have that industry's name somewhere in your name, not a must, but it gives a good ring to it. When they need someone, the first thing they'll think of is something that that has the industry name in it. For example, if you are looking to go into healthcare, then something that you want to do is maybe health staffing, health recruitment, something that has the word health in there. If you're thinking of doing like hospitality, and you're looking into doing IT, having something with that name in it sometimes is a benefit. Again, it's not a must. And again, if you wanted to be a generic company where you do a bit of everything, like some agencies out here, then have a generic name and not having anything specific in that name. So I'll leave it to you to use your imagination, be creative, and pick a name that you'd like. Once you've picked your name, you need to register the company. So how do you register the company? It's by going on Google. So I can show you here on the screen myself. So you go on Google and you type in company. Again, this is if you're based in the UK. So first thing you need to do is incorporate a company, register your company legally. Again, I'm sure that you have to do the same whether you're based in the US, you're in Canada and Germany. You have to incorporate a company. So in the UK, the first things first is you go on to the .gov.uk website, set up a limited company. Is really, really straightforward. You've got about 7 simple steps. What you want to do is a short questionnaire. Is setting up a company right for you? Choose a name, making sure that name isn't already taken. Once you've picked your name, then choose the directors. Are you going to be doing this yourself? Do you have 2, 3, 4 other partners with you? Is there a company secretary that you would add onto the company register? Decide then the shareholders agreements that you have between your partners. Identify who has the significant control of the company. And again, this is something for you to work out if you are going to do this venture with someone else. If you're doing this by yourself, then it's straightforward. You can breeze past all of this and prepare the documents that they request from you. Again, it's very simple. It takes about, to set up a company, it will take you anything between a couple of minutes, and anything between realistic from 10 minutes to half an hour. So within half an hour, you have registered your company. It will cost you 12 British pounds to register a company. Once you register your company, you'll get an email just to say we've received your application. And within, I would say, 24 hours to 48 hours, you will get a certificate of incorporation, and you have taken your first step of being an entrepreneur, and you are now a business owner and you have your business name. So that's done. You've registered the company. You've called it, let's just say ABC Recruitment. Next thing you want to do is buy a domain with the name that you've registered. So you may want to do it the other way around. You may want to look at the domain first. So what you can do is just go on Google. So we could do this together now. Buy a domain. So buy a domain. There's so many providers out there. There's hundreds and hundreds of providers out there. The one that I use and is very common and popular is GoDaddy. So you just click on GoDaddy and you can get started. It's very, very straightforward. It's easy. Buying a, sometimes you may think in your head, oh, it's very overwhelming. How do I buy a domain? What is a domain? How what is a website? What is the difference between a domain and a website? So a domain, it's literally the name, the www.yourdomain.com. So for example, if you wanted to do ABCD recruitment 123 exclamation mark, let's just be different. So just to ensure this is available, you click search and let's see if this company is available. And yes, it is. And it's going to cost you 1 pence. So buying a domain will cost you no more than 1p. But again, if you buy it for the year, you're realistically looking at, give or take, £10. So you'll spend £10 on buying your domain. So you spent £12 on registering the company. Now you've bought the domain, you're happy with the name. Next thing that you do is you go to checkout. Once you've checked out, you'll get a prompt coming up on your screen saying, do you want to buy an email? Absolutely. What you want to do is buy an email and associate it with your domain. So for example, your domain is abcdrecruitment123.co.uk, and you purchase this. You also may want to buy similar domains just to ensure that no one else buys a similar domain to you. So if you've got a .co.uk, you probably want to get a .com as well, just to ensure that you don't have another company trading as abcdrecruitment123.com and you are trading as abcdrecruitment123.co.uk. So what you don't want to have is a conflict of two different websites almost trading under two similar names. So what you want to do is buy both domains if you can. Again, it doesn't cost you much. Realistically, you spend about £10 on each domain. So that's £20 you've just spent on setting up your domain. So once you've purchased your domain, you'll get the prompt, as I said, on your screen coming up as, do you want to buy an email address associated with your domain? Absolutely, buy an email address. It's professional. You want to email your clients and candidates from a domain that is a company. What you don't want to do is email from a Gmail account or from a Yahoo account or from a Hotmail account. You don't want to do that. You want to look professional. First impressions are very, very important. So just buy yourself a domain, get yourself that email address, call it, whether you want to call it something generic like info@yourdomain.com, or you want to give it your name at the domain that you bought.com. So we've bought the domain, we've bought the domain, we've bought the email, we've registered the company. What else do we need to do to get you set up? Next thing you want to do is create a website. Why do you need to create a website? A website is literally, it's an online presence. You want to show companies that you have an online presence. Some clients will be apprehensive sending you their DBS, their passports, their right to work, because as a recruitment agency, you will request these documents in order to forward over to your clients if you're doing temporary staffing. So some candidates will look at your website and say, okay, are these people legit? Is this, is it a phishing email? Is this a scam? So last thing you want to do, as I said, first impressions are very, very important. Last thing you want to do is get the requirements from your clients. You've jumped through all those hurdles and failed because you tried to cut corners and not buy a website. Again, a website does not have to be impressive. You do not need to spend hundreds and hundreds, thousands of, some people spend thousands of pounds on websites. You do not need to do that. A website is an online presence. Generally speaking, a client is not going to give you more business because your website looks fantastic, or they're not going to give you less business because your website doesn't look as fantastic as the other agency. No, what they want is, can you deliver? An online presence is important, but the bottom line is, can you deliver? And if you can deliver, you can deliver on the most budget website, and you can beat your competition who have spent thousands on a website. So get yourself a good website. How much should a website cost you? And who will create my website? How can I get my website made for me? So if you're quite technical, or you're quite IT savvy, then what you can do is just go on. Once you buy the domain from GoDaddy, for example, that's the one that I personally use the most, and they will give you an option as well to add on a WordPress theme. Will cost you maybe another £20, and then you can choose from a couple of themes that you have, and you can pick. And a WordPress website looks something like this. I can show you here. So this is a WordPress website. It's very, very basic. Again, you don't need to put in organizations we work with, if you haven't worked with any organizations yet. It's very simple. You can see over here the industries that they do, the vacancies that they've got available, a little bit about them, and whether you've got testimonials and their contact details. So a WordPress website does not have to be expensive. It's not really expensive. It does not have to be fancy. It just got to do the job. It's an online presence. So people can contact you if they, if you've got any vacancies, you can just post it on your website and people can apply on your website. Also, why do you need to have a website is so people can apply for vacancies, and they can contact you, they can submit their CVs on your website. So it's important to have an online presence, but don't go overboard. And also, you want to get yourself as a logo, as all part of your marketing, but it does not have to be something fancy. A logo is just, it's just who you are. But you're not going to get more business because your logo looks amazing or you spent a couple £100 on your logo. No, what the bottom line is, as I said before, can you deliver? So in short, don't go overboard with spending a lot on a website. As a starting point, your budget should not be more than £150. I'd say realistically, at the most, higher end, 200 pounds is the most that you should spend on a website. And how can you find someone to make a website for you if you don't know how to do it yourself? Personally, I don't do the websites myself as well. I find it sometimes a bit too technical to do myself. So I just go on Google and I will just type in, for example, people per hour or Fiverr, similar sort of concept. So what you do is these sort of websites have a lot of freelancers on here from all over the globe. So you've got people from India, Pakistan, people from Canada, people from Thailand, Vietnam, what have you, Far East, Middle East, Europe. There's people literally from everywhere across the globe who can offer their services. And you will put out there, so if we click on people per hour, that's the one I personally use the most, but you can use Fiverr as well. So it's fairly similar. You post a project. So you got to sign up. So once you signed up, you post a project and you choose your project. So if we are going to look for a website designer, let's go on design and let's go on website. So now we are looking for a website designer. Click continue, assuming that you've signed in and everything. So you just type in, what do you need? I need a website for my recruitment agency. Again, if you've picked your niche already, then you can just say for my health care recruitment agency. If you haven't picked the niche, you could just keep it generic and type in what you need. Hi, I am looking for a web developer. I don't know why I'm spelling that wrong, but good old autocorrect will help us out. I'm looking for a web developer who can help me create a website for my recruit agency. There you go. And you can go into more details and what you're looking for. And if you've got a similar website, I like the website called xyz.com for, and then they've got an idea of what you are looking for. So once you've give as much details as you can, describe your project as in much detail. So it avoids the time wasted, people coming back to you saying, okay, have you got a similar website, or asking you questions. You want to give as much information as you can. So someone just to take it all in, just to say, yep, I can deliver. And then what you do, what I like about these websites, you determine the rate. So you determine how much you're willing to spend. Of course, you've got to be realistic, and because if you put the lowest amount, then you will get the lowest quality of people. Of course, the higher you spend, the higher quality you get. But as I said, it does not have to be amazing. You don't have to spend thousands or hundreds of pounds. I would say put a budget of £150, because like a really, really good starting point. £100 you can get away with as well. £100 to get yourself a website. So once you've got the website and project posted, you just post your job and you will be flooded with tons of replies offering you their services. Someone in Canada may come back to you and say, hey, I can do this website for you for $300. Someone else in another part of the world will come back to you and say, I can do this for this price. So then you can just have a conversation with them via the platform. You can remain on the platform it's a safer option where you pay, you know, a little deposit. Once they've done a third of the work, then you pay a little bit more, and when they complete the work upon completion, then you pay more. And that's it really. So this is it when it comes to creating a website and a logo. Again, whilst you are here, actually, let's just go back to it. And so if you want as well, you can just say, I am looking for a web developer and also someone who can create me a logo. So trying to get someone all in one. I'm sure you'll probably get a better deal that way as well, rather than spending, you know, £150, let's just say, on someone making you a website, and then you spend another £50 on someone making you a logo. If you get one person doing both, they may do it for you for £160. So you save yourself a little bit by having one person doing both jobs for you. Okay, so we have covered creating a website, the tools that you need. Okay, so once you've completed this project and you've posted a job and you've got a web developer that you are happy with and you want to take on their services, next thing they will ask you for after to build your website is for your GoDaddy details. Why do they need your details? Is so that they can put your website and have it hosted onto your GoDaddy platform. They will ask you for your credentials, so do not be wary, do not be suspicious. It is absolutely fine. If you don't want to share it with them, and what you can do to go around it, again, it can be a bit technical, download, you know, something called a team viewer or AnyDesk where you can share your screen with them and have your credentials already logged on, so they can just jump on your screen and do what they need to do. But it's absolutely fine. There's nothing to worry about. They will go onto your GoDaddy platform and just build your website for you. Once they've built your website for you, do you need them for every single change that you need to make on your website? For example, let's just go back on the example that we gave. This is a WordPress website. It will be something similar to this that they'll build for you. This is a WordPress website. And once they've built this for you, let's just say you weren't happy with the font, or a month later, 2 months later, you decided, you know, I don't like this text anymore. I think I could use better words. And do you need to pay them again? Do they need to edit this for you every single time that you want to make any small, minute changes? No, you don't is the answer. You can just go on your website. Once you purchase your website, you will get an email with your credential of the back end of your website. The back end is literally anything that you want to change about your website. You can do it yourself. If you just go on the back end, it will look like this. You'll put in your login details, your username and password, and then it will take you to a page where you can edit. You can literally just highlight this and remove it. Or if you don't like this picture, you just delete this picture and go into your files on your desktop, on your computer or your laptop, and put an image that you like. It's very, very straightforward, and it can be overwhelming, but honestly, once you play around with it, you'll get a hang of it. It's very straightforward. So we are back here to what tools we need to get going and starting the recruitment agency. So we've covered now, and start. Okay, so as you can see, this is an example of a WordPress as we've just mentioned. So if you are not happy with any of the style, the fonts that you have on your website, or you decide to change it later on down the line, you can always just remove the text, delete the images yourself by going on the back end of your website. This is what it looks like. So you'll get your credentials when you purchase your domain, and you can just log on yourself. And once you log on, you go back, it will take you to your website, and you can edit literally anything that you don't like from your website. If you don't like the image, just delete it, insert yourself another image. If you don't like the text or you don't like the font, there's two options. You can either do this yourself, or first, the easiest option, of course, would be you can just pay your developer who will just do this for you. But honestly speaking, you do not need to be technical. You do not need to know computing. You do not need to know IT. You do not need to have a qualification to do this yourself. It's literally as simple as editing a Word document. If you get stuck, just thousands and thousands of videos online that you can watch. So let's just look at this together. So we can even go on YouTube and type in editing a WordPress video. And here we go. There's hundreds of options available. Create and edit a website. So I think you may want to watch this before you decide to get yourself a web developer, because it may be very, very straightforward and simple for you to do this yourself. And so for little things like changing the font or removing an image, or updating your address if you've moved, updating your number if you've got a new number, don't bother going back to your web developer for everything, because, you know, as per the job, you'll be charged. So you can save yourself quite a bit by going on the back end and watching some YouTube videos. Hope that was helpful and you've understood a lot from creating your website and looking at the different options available, and starting your company by going company's house. First and foremost, of course, picking the name of the agency that you want to establish, picking the domain, registering your company, get your incorporation certificate, then you are an entrepreneur, you are a business owner. And then you've got just creating your website. Once you've created your website, you've got your logo, you need a telephone line, a VoIP line. What is a VoIP line? So if you Google, so it is a internet-based telecom. So your number will appear as a 07 or 02 number. I will highly recommend you get yourself an 02 if you're based in the UK. That is a landline. If you're based in the US, get yourself a landline. Wherever you're based, get yourself a landline. It looks more professional that you are calling from a landline. And why does it matter? First impressions are important. If I get a call from a mobile number, I would think I would not link it to an organization. I would link it to a individual. So you want to look like you're a company, you're an established firm that is calling them. So get yourself a telephone line. It does not have to be expensive. You've got so many options. So again, it really depends on your pocket, how much you want to spend. I would say to you, if you are the first time doing a recruitment agency, you want to keep your costs down to the minimum as possible. So a company that I recommended and I've used myself when I first started my agency was Cloudphone. Why use Cloudphone? Because it's very simple. The interface is straightforward. It's cheap. They put their prices up now. So I would say it's about, you're looking at about so anything between 10 to 15 pounds per month. You get unlimited calls. You can receive unlimited calls. You get unlimited calls to any UK landline and mobile numbers. You get to transfer your calls. And so if you want to forward your calls to your mobile, so you can work from an app. So you download the app. So you get all your calls through the app. So how do you distinguish what are your personal calls and what are your business calls? So if you got your mobile phone, what you can do is download the app. Once you've downloaded the app on your phone, any calls that come from the business will go through the app, and any personal calls will come to your mobile phone as normal. You can set two separate ringtones, so there's no confusion there. And you can also install this on your laptop, your computing device that you have. You can put on your headsets and make the calls from your computer. And it's really, really straightforward, easy to use. Cloudphone is very simple and it's fairly cheap. But again, if you want to spend a little bit more, or I would say,
Ahmed.
Yep.
So go back to Cloudphone, go on the website.
Okay, so this is the option I would say probably would be a good starting point. We can go on their website, as it says here, get started or request a free trial. So you can get started. What you need to do is pick a plan. So it's £13 a month per user. You realistically, if you're starting this by yourself, just have one user. And as we said here, it comes with free UK numbers, unlimited landlines and mobiles, all the smart features, soft phone application. They offer also something called recording, and it may be an extra charge, but what this will do, every call that you receive and every call that you make is recorded. It's a really, really handy tool, because sometimes you want to call to a client and you're overwhelmed, or they call you off guard and you've just taken that call and you've taken out a very, very important requirement, which can make you tons and tons of money. But the last thing you want to do is, after that call, just shoot, I forgot what she asked, or shoot, what did she say? I don't really remember. And you don't want to lose out on vital information. So if you have the call recorded, you just go back to it. I do this all the time. Yeah, so I'm forgetful sometimes. So sometimes I get a call, very important, but I missed a number. I'm mistaken one of the digits on a mobile phone. I can't get hold of that client anymore. I'm losing out on this deal. What do I do? Just quickly go back on that call recording, and what you do is listen to the call again. And yeah, it's really, really straightforward. How do you get a call recording up? Once you register with them, they will drop you an email. You will just respond back to their support team, just say, I would like call recordings, and they will tell you the price. I think it's an extra £5 a month or so, but it's that £5 of investment per month would save you tons of money, because a deal that you lose out on, it's not going to cost you £5. You're not making £5 deals. You're probably making £100 or £1,000 deals. So that £5 is honestly worth the investment for me. And Cloud Phone is a really, really good tool. If you want to get another option as well, try Zoom phone systems as well. Just all you have to do is just register your details, and they will send you their offers. I'm not too sure how much they charge. I think it's in the range between £10 to £20 a month. So this is also another good solution for you to try out. And if you want to get something better in terms of quality, in terms of interface, in terms of reliability, I would recommend you go for a company called 3CX. I've been using them for years now. Really, really good. Fantastic when it comes to their interface. Very, as you can see over here, this is how it looks like. You can have so many people using it at the same time, transferring the calls to each other. You can have users from all over the world. We've got staff from the Middle East, from in Africa, in Europe. So we use this a lot, and we transfer calls to each other all the time. It's a fantastic tool. So again, the options are yours for you to look into, but get yourself a phone line. It's important. First impressions are key. I know some people will say, can I not just use my mobile phone? Yes, you can, but again, it doesn't look professional. Okay, so the choice is yours, of course, if you want to invest in a internet telephone line where you look more professional, or do you want to use your mobile phone? I would highly recommend spend the extra £10–15 a month and get yourself an internet phone where it will display your landline number, whether it's an O2 number, 08 number, 0121 number, wherever you are based in the country, or again, whether you're abroad, overseas. So the telephone lines is something that is helpful and gives good impressions. After that, what other tools do you need to get started? And how much do you need to invest? Last but not least, of course, without saying, you need a laptop or a computing device to store your emails, to store your CVs. You know, some may ask, can I just work from my mobile phone? Yes, you can, but you won't be as efficient. Get yourself a laptop computer. Most people have these days, and good internet line. Internet and laptop is important. And why this is also really, really amazing and handy is you can be anywhere in the world with your laptop, as long as you've got good internet and you've got that telephone line that is that telephone line that uses the online telecom. You can be anywhere in the world. You can literally work from a beach somewhere in the Caribbean, and the clients will assume that you are in the UK because you are displaying a 020 number coming across as you are UK based. So get yourself a laptop, have good internet, invest in the telephone line, have yourself a website, get the domain, get registered, and work from wherever you are in the world. Hope you've benefited, and I'll see you on the next one. Hi all, it's Ahmed here on Recruitable University, and welcome to the recruitment program. So we've covered what a recruitment agency is. We also went through, is recruitment a saturated market? And I will let you answer that one after seeing the statistics of how much the industry value is of the recruitment agencies in the UK, and also the the market value of recruitment agencies in the US and various other countries. So we also went through what tools do you need to get started and how much capital do you need to get started and to run a recruitment agency. Give or take, to even start up a recruitment company, it will cost you as little as £300, if that. We'll be going through now the benefits of using recruitment agencies. Why are clients using recruitment agencies, and why are candidates using recruitment agencies? And some of this we've sort of covered before, which is the extensive candidate database. I can't stress enough the importance of building a database when you are starting your own recruitment agency. Data, the value of data is honestly absolutely insane. And the clients are actually paying for your data. The candidates are paying for your data. Your service is all around the fact that you've got a huge database of clients and candidates looking for work or looking for staff. So the extensive candidate database, it's one of the main reasons clients are using recruitment agencies because they cannot find staff themselves. They are short-staffed and they are looking for cover, but because of they're restricted in terms of the resources they have available to them, they cannot simply hire themselves, which is why they are reaching out to recruitment agencies who've got a huge, extensive candidate database. So it's important as part of establishing and starting your own recruitment agency that you give much attention to building a candidate database. And we'll be going through how to build candidates, how to attract candidates, and how to attract clients. And that's essentially your database, which you are building. So extensive candidate database is one of the main reasons. Obviously, clients are coming to you as a recruitment agency because you are able to deliver. You've got the candidates on your books. You've got, and the reason candidates are coming to you is because you've got those clients on your books and you are able to provide them the service that they need. So that is the main thing, or the main reason actually, why recruitment agencies are so popular and are in huge demand, is because they've just specialized in candidates. They specialize in clients. They've just they are literally gapping the bridging the gap between the clients and the candidates. Therefore, they are the go-to company when it comes to recruiting. Another benefit of using recruitment agencies is including passive candidates, deep market knowledge, and industry-specific network, meaning that they have huge network of clients and candidates. For example, when a candidate is looking for work, they know a recruitment agency is just a go-to place for them because they know they've got the network, they've got the contacts, they've got all the industry contacts of the hiring, talent acquisition, the hiring managers, and they can get them interviews a lot quicker. They can get them a position a lot quicker. Likewise, when it comes to client, when they are looking for staff, the recruitment agencies are their go-to in terms of finding staff because it's just very quickly when it comes to the turnaround. And as we said before, if they are short staffed, they need cover tomorrow. Recruitment agencies your go-to. It's very hard to hire someone tomorrow, but it's a lot easier to find a agency staff tomorrow. Likewise, we actually get clients contacting us on the day asking us, can you find me cover? I've just been let down, so and so hasn't turned up, can you find me someone else? Or another agency has let me down, or one of our staff member has called in sick, can you provide me staff now because we've got a room full of patients and they need to be seen, or we've got a classroom full of kids that need to be taught. So the network, the industry specific network, is one of the main reasons that recruitment agencies are just in huge demand, and why the market value is as where it is, because of the network that they have, the industry contacts that they have, the candidate database that they have. So recruitment agencies are in huge demand, and it's very important, as I stressed before, that you pay close attention to your database, that you are constantly uploading candidates to your database, you're constantly uploading clients to your database, and that you are constantly expanding your database. Therefore, you are able to reach a wider network of candidates. You're able to reach a wider network of clients, and making it easier to find candidates for the right positions. Another reason that another benefits actually of using recruitment agencies is, especially when it comes for clients and candidates as well, they offer different types of contracts. There's so many hiring options available, which makes it so easy for clients when it comes to the different hiring options that they need themselves. For example, if a client has been let down on the day, then they can just call in for a short-term cover. The recruitment agency is your go-to. If a client is looking for a longer term and they cannot find staff themselves, which happens a lot of the times, then a recruitment agency is the go-to. They will just call out to your recruitment agency, just say, I'm looking for long-term cover. So they've got so many different hiring options available. They've got permanent positions available. They've got short-term position available. They've even got temp to perm positions available, which is a position where the candidate initially starts as a temporary. So it's more like a trying before you buy. So before they commit into a long-term position, or before they commit into a permanent position, they would take the candidate on a temporary basis, and to see if the candidate is a right cultural fit, if the candidate is the right, are they the right fit for the practice, and likewise, if the candidate likes the client themselves and they want to engage into a longer term contract. So this the hiring options that are available to the clients and the candidates are so vast, it's no wonder why they reach out to recruitment agencies when it comes to finding positions or finding staff. Another reason that they are clients, and well, in this case, clients are actually using recruitment agencies, it just saves them time on advertising, screening, interviewing. As you can imagine, huge organizations who are recruiting hundreds and thousands of staff to go through each independent interview and screening and going through all those advertisements can be time consuming. So what they do is they use recruitment agencies and they give them their requirements. If they need, for example, 15 members of staff over the next 8 weeks, instead of hiring those 15 members of staff just for a 8-week period, it's just more cost effective for them just to hand it over to a recruitment agency while they get into a contract with the agency, and the agency will find them the staff that they need. They will take care of their pay of the candidates. They will take care of the compliance of the candidate. They will take care of anything that's sort of associated with the candidates. All that the client will do is just say, this is my requirement. This is what I'm looking for. Can you deliver? And it's your job as a recruitment agency then to deliver and service your clients in order to get reputable, to build that reputable trust and relation between yourself and your client, and also to get return business and potentially also for your name to be out there, because sometimes clients, they do refer you to other clients as well. So what happens is, but sometimes groups, they will have annual meeting, board meetings, general meetings, where they have a group of people, so a group of either practices, hospitals, schools, counties coming together and exchanging their pros and cons of using recruitment agencies. And actually, so another benefit of using a recruitment agency, it just saves them time on advertising, screening, and interviewing. As you can imagine, huge organizations who are recruiting hundreds and thousands of staff to screen every candidate, to screen every interview every candidate, to go through all the documentation paperwork, it can prove to be difficult and long-winded process. So that's why recruitment agencies are just handing over these contracts to, that's why clients actually are handing over these contracts over to recruitment agencies when it comes to hiring. It just saves them a lot of time advertising and screening and interviewing those candidates. For example, huge organizations who are hiring thousands or hundreds of candidates, which happens, for example, Royal Mail during the Christmas period. As you can imagine, they are very, very busy with all the deliveries. They take on hundreds and hundreds of staff. They use many agencies because it's just not practical for them to find all those staff in-house themselves. So they just outsource it to recruitment agency to find them staff. So likewise, big organizations will reach out to recruitment agencies and give them big contracts in order for them to find them the staff that they are looking for. Another reason why recruitment agencies are in high demand, and then one of the benefits of using recruitment agencies for clients, it just reduces them overall hiring costs. Instead of spending a huge amount on advertising, spending a huge amount of resources on finding them staff, they just offload this over to the recruitment agency, who will take care of their complete recruitment needs. They will completely take care of the recruitment needs. That's why they use them as a service provider. They will take care of the candidate, their candidate's documentation, the compliance, making sure they got all the right to work paperwork. Everything is in place and in check. They take care of all the candidates' pay and anything that is associated with the candidate. That's why recruitment agencies are in high demand, and you don't want to miss out on establishing your own recruitment agency so that you can get a slice of that huge pie of the industry market that we mentioned, which is huge in the UK and absolutely massive in the US. I hope you've enjoyed and you benefited from this lesson, and I will see you on the next one. Hello all and welcome to Recruitable University. My name is Ahmed. On today's recruitment program, we are on the last lesson on module number 1 on how to establish or how to start your own recruitment agency. So we went through what a recruitment agency is, And we went also through, is recruitment agency a saturated market? We talked about the tools that you need to get started and how much roughly you need to start your own recruitment agency. We went through the benefits of using a recruitment agency. What are the benefits of clients using agencies? And what are the benefits of candidates using agencies like yourself? Now we'll go through, do I need to leave my job? Which is a common question that we get asked all the time, which is, of course, a concern that many of you would have who are already in an employment. You may have been in your position for a very long time. Yes, you may feel like there's no growth. Yes, you may feel like you can earn a lot more starting your own recruitment agency, but the concern is always there. And it's a very common question that we get asked all the time is, do I need to leave my job? No is the answer. You do not need to leave your job to start your own recruitment agency. And how much can you make? How much you make, it really depends on you, but we will go through the perks and the perks of actually starting your own recruitment agency. First and foremost is the flexible hours. So yes, you don't need to leave your current position that you are in. You can work on your agency on the side. So you can do a few hours in the morning, a few hours in the evening in order to secure some deals and to make some money on the side. So the hours are flexible. And the location, of course, is flexible. So you can work from anywhere in the world. This is when you are established and you are not in a employment and you are working full-time on your recruitment agency. So first and foremost, the hours are flexible. You can start anytime you want and you can finish anytime you want. Therefore, you do not need to leave your current position. I would actually advise, if you have a steady income and you're already in employment, that you do a couple of hours in the evening. So do all your client calling during work hours. So on your lunch break, for example, make sure that you are calling all your clients and trying to tie any deals that you need to tie. And in the evening, do some admin work, whether it's chasing your candidates, whether it's just making sure you are sending invoices to your clients. And in the morning, if you get the time before the rush hour, is to do a couple of hours or schedule your day, look at what you need to do and try to make the most of your lunch breaks, for example, to tie any loose ends. So yes, the hours are flexible. You don't need to leave your current position, but try to put in as many hours as you can. And if you have already left your position, then my advice to you would be put in as many hours as you can. Do full-time hours, 8 hours, 10 hours a day in order to get to your goal and to hit your in order to hit your goal and to reach your achievements really, really quickly. Of course, the benefits of recruitment, starting your own recruitment agency, and also if you don't leave your current position, is you can still earn a passive income whilst you're in full-time employment. What I mean by this is, if you get a client and a client says to you, I'm looking for a doctor, I'm looking for an IT engineer for the next 6 months, and then you manage to find them a candidate and the candidate interviews at the place and they get the job and they are in a 6-month contract. For the next 6 months, you've got a passive income coming in. Whilst you are in employment, you've got a contractor who's working for you on the side. You can potentially be earning more with this one contractor than your full-time position. So it's very, very lucrative, and you can actually earn a passive income whilst you are still in employment and whilst you still have a job. So you can earn a passive income from a recruitment agency. When I say passive, you can literally put a candidate in a placement who will be working weekends, who will be working evenings, who will be working nights, who will be working days, who will be working days when you're not working. So on the weekend, a contractor who can be making you money whilst you're off shopping, whilst you're enjoying yourself with your family, with your friends. You can be earning a passive income. A contractor who's working for a placement that you put them in whilst you are sleeping in the evening. For example, if you have night shifts and your candidate is working 5 nights a week, every hour that they are working, every day that they're working, even though you may not be working, even though you may actually be asleep, you'll be earning a passive income from your candidates. You can also earn a passive income or lump sums from permanent placements. What I mean by this is, whilst you're currently in a position and you are in full-time employment, you can try to make deals on the side during the hours that are available to you, whether it's lunch break, evening, mornings, and try to make some deals. If a client reaches out to you via email, I'm looking for a IT engineer, the salary is 60,000 per annum. and you negotiate, let's just say 10%, just for easy maths, you've negotiated 10%, which is £6,000 as a finder's fee. The candidate interviews and they like the candidate. Even though you are in full-time employment, you can just earn £6,000 just from that one placement, which could be more than you'll be earning at your full-time position. No wonder why many people are starting recruitment agencies, and they are absolutely making a killing, and there's no reason why you can't. Another beauty of working for your own or working for a recruitment agency is literally you write your own paycheck. How many hours you put in is potentially how much you'll be earning. You can put in a few hours and still earn a decent amount. Like we said, for example, one placement that you make can actually be £6,000. I've seen placements for £22,000 to £25,000 just for one placement, and it can be as little as £1.50. So it really depends on the niche, depends on which industry you're in. And we'll be going through the next module will be niche mastery, which niches are busy, which ones are quite lucrative, and which ones should you try your best to get hold on or to take part in. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you benefited from this module, and I will see you on module number 2.